I'll stay in the AL Central since the White Sox did exactly what every Tiger fan wanted and drafted one of the top four shortstops
Hmm.
in Colson Montgomery. And the thing there is, and this is going to just work beautifully to follow up what Smitty said, they did that because they don't have to worry about a shortstop for the next probably 5 to 7 years. They basically looked at that, said he's the best guy on the board for what we're looking to fill down the road because they're kind of set for the next 5 or so years with contracts and things like that in a lot of positions, and they went ahead and took him. He's an athletic individual, and he's the kind of player who fits what has turned into like a White Sox pedigree in the draft, which got highlighted in a New York Daily News article this week on how the White Sox currently have done something kind of extraordinary where they have seven. Well, they had seven at one point. They are down to six because of Nick Madrigal injury, but they've had 7 first-round draft picks playing on this roster that's in first place right now, and 14 draft picks overall make up the roster. And the White Sox, in a way, kind of do the anti-Moneyball thinking, that in my favorite, one of my favorite baseball scenes of all time, which I've said so many times in podcast, but on this podcast is that draft room scene, and Billy Bean's trying to say how you have to look at it differently because of the money limitations, and they're talking about this guy's girlfriend's a dog, but he looks like he's been there before, and when he walks in the room, he looks like he's got the biggest dick in the room and all that. The White Sox, they don't use a ton of analytics, and that's why they draft a lot of college players. They look at players and how they respond in high leverage situations, which is one of the things that's very important to the White Sox. And that's why a lot of high school players aren't drafted. It's one of the reasons they drafted Gordon Beckham, because he tore it up in the World Series, in the College World Series. He was the MVP. Is one of the reasons they drafted on him. They didn't quite hit a home run on that, but they're hitting home runs right now, and they look very specifically at the makeup of the player because they believe in their farm system and that they can mold the player and get them where they need to be, and they want someone who's very strong-minded and, like I said, can respond in high-pressure situations. So I think that's interesting, and you are kind of seeing that now with very small sample size, as I talked about last week. But you have 2 players who come up in the heat of a pennant race and have performed thus far, and
In Burger and Sheets
Sheets, yeah,
for a
and
week.
you got Garrett Crochet, who was out of college for 3 months and is a MLB is at the MLB level, working out of the bullpen with a minuscule ERA. So I mean, you've got players. You got Nick Madrigal. Tim Anderson was a first round pick by them, frowned upon by a lot of people. Said he would never make it as a shortstop. He'd have
Yeah, I
to be a
remember
center
that.
fielder.
Yep.
So I think the White
Proved us all
Sox,
wrong.
yeah, the White Sox, whatever they're doing, they should stick to it.